dickheads. So, fuck, Jesus. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about Ohm's law, for those of you who don't know. So I've got my notepad here, blank bit of paper. I've got my calculator, right, dickheads. And we're going to work on just some basic voltages like 3.7 or 4.2 for most 18650s. Then you've got your series boxes, which will run about what, 8.4 to 8.2 to 7.4 or something like that. Right, with a regular resistance of, let's say, 0.4, 0.45. Yeah, we'll call it 0.45 just to be safe. Right. So we'll write that down, just like that, 0.45 ohms. With a voltage of, let's say, pointing this way a bit, the voltage of, let's say, 3.7, because that's going to be your nominal voltage, volts DC. Alright, write that down, 3.7 volts DC, because you've got DC and AC, as most people would know. Batteries are DC, unless you run them through a inverter. It's really hard to get AC out of a battery. Right, so we're going to draw our triangles now. So you've got two triangles, right, for working out resistance versus current. Oh fuck, hang on. Cook that one. Righto, we'll have another go. Let's draw these triangles down. Right, bit rough, but you should be able to make some sense out of that. The first one will be voltage into resistance, is the way I like to think of it. So I stands for current, V is for voltage, R is for resistance, which is measured in ohms, current is in amps, and then it's penis in vagina, yeah, bit rough, which is power into volts. So once again, power is measured in wattage for this sort of deal. I is current again, V is volts. Okay, so when going from the top of the triangle to the bottom of the triangle, you're dividing, right? From going across the bottom, you're multiplying, right? So in order to get one, so let's say we're going to attempt to get resistance from the two factors that we know, right? Voltage and current. So we know our input voltage and the current that we're drawing, right? So we divide the voltage by the current, which will give us the resistance, or the other way around. You divide the voltage by the resistance, the known resistance, which will give us the current that we're drawing. Alright? So let's do that. Once again, we've still got 0.45 ohms, 3.7 volts DC, which is our nominal voltage of an 18650 battery. Alright? So we'll draw that up. I equals volts divided by resistance. Alright? So we'll write that down, and then we'll make it I equals 3.7 divided by 0.45. Okay? This is why you need to stress battery safety, because it's so easy to draw so much current from such a small battery without the right ratings, and it will vent, and it will pop, and it will fucking hurt you. Right, now that that's over, let's do it. Got the calculator, 3.7 divided, you motherfucker. We don't want that one, 3.7 divided by 0.45 gives us an amperage of 8.22 recurring, which is pretty safe for most batteries that you're using that have got like a 20 amp constant amp draw allowance and like a 35 amp total, so like 35 amp burst. Right, so that gives us our current. So I equals 8.22 and we'll just whack a 3 on the end because it's recurring. I know you only meant to fucking round up when it's above 5, but fuck it. 8.223 amps, right? So now we move into this second triangle to find our wattages. So we know our current, 8.223. We know our voltage, right, of 3.7. So if we multiply it, remember, on the bottom half of the triangle, in order to find this top one, we have to multiply. So we take our current and we multiply it by our voltage, which will give us our power, which equals wattage, right? So let's do that now. Remember, we've got a current draw of 8.22 recurring, or 8.223, as I've written it down. So we'll take 8.223, multiply that by 3.7, gives you 30 watts. Yep. So the less resistance you have, the higher the amperage. The higher the amperage, the more wattage you're going to produce. Right? That's why low or sub-ohm builds are dangerous on series boxes or series mods. You really need to have high amp batteries and know what you're building and measure the resistance of your coils. Right? So let's write that out. Power equals I times V. Right? Just like that. Power equals I times V. Right? So let's write that out again. Power equals 8.223 times our nominal voltage of our battery, 3.7, which once again gives us around about 30 watts. Yeah? Now, let's take that 0.45 and put it in a series box. Yeah? So we've got 0.45 ohms, or 450 milliohms for you sticklers. Fucking, I'm an electrician, or apprentice electrician, so I need to know the engineering notation table, which is milli, micro, nano, pico, which is all of the decimal points, like a thousandth, a millionth, a billionth, and a trillionth of 1. Yeah? But that's different shit. So we'll take our 0.45 ohms, and then we'll take our series voltage of, let's say, a nominal voltage of 7.4, yeah, volts DC. Okay? Just like that. So we'll put a line in here. So that's single 18650 is our top line. Yep. Whoop, fucking box is folding over. Our top line up the top there. And now we're going to do series. So that's going to be 2 times 18650s wired in a series. So that's positive to negative connection, right? So that means like stacking batteries. So I've only got one here. This is just a cheapie that I've got. It doesn't have a high current rating. I do not use it in any mods because it's just used. I just bought it to mock up to make some mods, right? I don't have another battery around, but I've got a lighter. Let's just say that this point on the lighter is the positive, right? So a series connection is like that, yeah? So you've got your negative, positive, positive touching negative, and then a negative output up here, a positive output up here. So you've got one negative output and one positive output. That gives you a nominal voltage of fresh off the charger 8.4, or not a nominal voltage, a fresh off the charger voltage of 8.4, and then it'll get down and stay about 7.4 depending on the milliamp hour life of your battery. Yeah, the higher the milliamp hours, the longer your battery's going to last. Right. For those of you who don't know, still rocking the Smock R80 Micro 1 kit with the TFV4 Micro with the 3.5mm extension in it. I'm still using the dual parallel fucking stainless, which runs at about 0.27. I think it's about, it says on there about 0.25. It's reading in about 0.27, close enough, and I'm vaping today at about 66.6 volts. Righto, let's get down to business here. Right, so we're going to do the same thing. Draw our triangles out. Volts into resistance. And we'll draw our power triangle out. Power into voltage, right? Then our triangles again down here. Right, we're just going to do the exact same thing, right? So we're going to take our voltage of 7.4 divided by 0.45 gives us an amperage of 16.4 recurring. Why are we getting recurring numbers again? Right, okay, so we've got a current total equals 16, let's just say 16.5 to make it easy. Alright, that's still within a pretty healthy range of most 18650 batteries. I mean, if you're using anything that's got a current rating below 16, just fucking don't do it. So we'll take that 16.5. Remember, anything on the bottom of the triangle, we're going to multiply to get what's on the top, yeah? If we want to find something on the bottom of the triangle from the top, right, we know two of these, right? One on the top and one on the bottom, right? So say we want to find voltage. We know the power and we know the current. We're going to take the power and divide it by the current, which will give us the voltage. Alright, so we're going to take 16.5, multiply that by 7.4, which will give us 122 watts. That's pretty fucking serious. Yeah? So, that's pretty much all I've got to say today. I hope you guys have learnt something. If you want to know a bit more about Ohm's law, we'll try and get a bit more in depth in it, and a little bit more in depth about battery safety, if you like. Name's Robbo, and have a good one.